The third season of Cobra Kai detonated with all the force of a nuclear blast, and it's shaping up to be the best of the series so far. There were plenty of big shocks, including a cast of familiar friends that triumphantly returned and helped advance the Karate Kid plot. It also concluded in one of the most massive powder keg explosions ever seen on television, with an all-out fight between Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do inside the LaRusso home. Season 4 will undoubtedly be much bigger than the third season in terms of story, spectacle, and conclusion. With the battle lines between the two schools well established, here are the 10 things to expect in Cobra Kai Season 4. By the way, make sure to click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our engaging videos, and use that trigger finger by smashing that like button. Now, let's get into it. Number 1. Johnny and Daniel butt heads on teaching. Although Johnny and Daniel have come together to fight a shared foe, the road ahead will not be easy. They're still at odds over a lot of things, and their innate predisposition to butt heads over the tiniest of concerns will undoubtedly produce problems as Miyagi-Do progresses. Both senseis are likely to disagree about the nature of karate and when to apply defense and offensive to their teaching structure. Chozen's instruction may have opened Daniel's mind to offensive tactics, but Johnny's boisterous Street Fighter attitude will throw the balance off. Number 2. Tory defects to Miyagi-Do. Tory may be the bad girl, but it's becoming clear that she doesn't want to be that way. Her harsh exterior is a shell built to hide the anguish of a traumatic family life in which she was forced to grow up far too quickly, take on the role of mother, and work 2 jobs just to keep things afloat. John Kreese's intervention on her behalf may have gained her a new landlord, but it hasn't resolved any of the fundamental issues. Tory will continue to suffer until she realizes that Cobra Kai is a death sentence. It'll eventually come down to accepting Samantha as a friend and stepping into the light. Number 3. Terry Silver is back. It's worth noting, though, that John Kreese is a retired military veteran with little money, as far as we know. Despite being a terrible presence in the valley and convincing everyone who isn't in the know that he's simply a good little company owner, it's difficult to imagine him having the kind of money to acquire the LaRusso dealership or to destroy it by sponsoring and strengthening one of its competitors. The bad news is that we already know Kreese has a powerful connection because he makes a phone call at the end of Season 3. The identity of the person on the other end of John Kreese's phone call at the end of the final episode is clear. Many characters have already returned to Cobra Kai, and Terry Silver is the next most likely candidate for a dramatic Season 4 surprise, especially given the Vietnam flashbacks. Ironically, the character who dies during the Vietnam flashback is the one most likely resembling a young Terry Silver, leaving the other characters as a possibility. It remains to be seen how this plays out, but Silver will almost certainly return to torture Daniel once again. Number 4. Mike Barnes is back on the scene. Mike Barnes, if Chozen can return to the Karate Kid franchise after the controversial second film, can as well. The psychopath karate champion made his entrance in the third film and rapidly established himself as a far more terrifying opponent than either Johnny Lawrence or Chozen could ever aspire to be. Barnes was not only a far more competent opponent, but he also had the ability to terrify Daniel on a level that no one had ever achieved before. Mike Barnes will almost certainly appear in Cobra Kai if Terry Silver appears. After all, Daniel cost Barnes a profitable business worth a lot of money, and any opportunity for retaliation would be welcomed. It would also allow Johnny to save Daniel as a kind of retaliation for intervening in Kreese's brawl. Number 5. Return of Aisha. Characters emerge and disappear frequently in Cobra Kai, though they rarely stay gone for long. Season 4 could see Aisha make a comeback, similar to how the bully Kyler was away from the show in Season 2, but returned to join the Cobra Kai dojo in Season 3. Nikolai Brown was written out of Season 3 of the program, presumably because the writers couldn't find a place in the script for her character. As a result, following the violent events that rocked the town last season, Aisha's parents sold their house and moved out of the city. The authors have stated that Aisha can, and most likely will, return in Season 4 if there's room for her. It may be the ideal opportunity for her character to play a pivotal role in the story arc, bridging the gap between Samantha and Tory while reminding everyone why she was such a formidable warrior. Number 6. John Kreese changes his ways. This is a long shot, but John Kreese will have to admit that he's on the wrong team sooner or later. If he doesn't change his ways, the character will have grown only an inch since his first appearance in The Karate Kid. Despite gaining control of Cobra Kai, Kreese has lost a number of fights by this point. His recent defeat to Daniel is bound to ruffle his feathers in a way that Miyagi's defeat could never match. Season 3's flashback reveal an intriguing progression in his character, but whether or not they developed out remains to be seen. Number 7. Johnny fights Robby once more. It's doubtful that Johnny and his son Robby will ever reconcile, given their history of antagonism. Since the beginning of the series, Robby has been through a lot. He's bounced between a life as a misfit, a clear route to peace and harmony as one of Daniel's students, and an anger that landed him in jail. Now that he's out on bail and under John Kreese's instruction, his character is bound to fall apart before any chance for redemption arises. In the closing episode of Season 3, Johnny and Robby got physical, and it's easy to envision them fighting again, this time with Kreese's Cobra Kai training thrown in the mix. Number 8. Robby is redeemed by Miguel. Miguel is the only character in the movie that has triumphed against adversity. Before suffering an injury that nearly incapacitated him, he progressed from being a victim of bullies to an all-valley karate champion. Miguel, on the other hand, does not appear to retain any anger for Robby, as indicated by his amicable conversation with Daniel. If Miguel can stay the course with Johnny and Daniel by his side, there's a chance he'll be the one to successfully entice Robby away from Kreese's toxic teachings. If that's the case, it'll be one of the series' best relationships. Both Robby and Cobra Kai will likely face off in the forthcoming All-Valley competition, which will determine not just Robby, but also Cobra Kai's fate. Number 9. John Kreese is sentenced to prison. Kreese is pushing boundaries in ways he's never done before. Even his psychological and physical abuse of Daniel LaRusso in the third Karate Kid film pales in contrast to sending his entire school to his house and trashing his belongings. At the end of Season 3, Kreese was on the verge of murdering Daniel, demonstrating exactly how far he'll go. If Kreese does not modify his ways and stop being destructive, he will undoubtedly cross a line that will not be able to cross again. If he's willing to murder another person, he's standing on the edge of a cliff that will force him to make one final deadly decision. It's possible he'll pick the wrong one. Number 10. Johnny and Daniel form a partnership. It's possible that fans' joy at seeing Daniel and Johnny standing side by side in Miyagi-Do at the end of Season 3 is a little premature. Not only will they dispute a lot over how to go with training, but once Cobra Kai and John Kreese have been destroyed, there's no telling where they'll wind up. Still, it's likely that Johnny and Daniel have understood that their true purpose is to teach future generations of children the principles of self-defense and confidence that come with martial arts training. Both Johnny and Daniel have a lot to learn from one another, which can only lead to a long-term friendship and collaboration. So, what can you say about 10 things to expect in Cobra Kai Season 4? Let us know in the comments section below, and hey, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so we continue giving you the best content. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.